Hello everyone, we are SA team and would like to introduce you about our new software FRS in detail. These days we have been asked a lot for the artificial intelligence technologies. We have been developing and working on it for many years, and this is one of the products that came out as a result. And it's not completely developed from our algorithm team though, but we have discussed and carried quality assurance properly, comparing with many other vendors, and finally concluded that this well-made product is the best suited for our surveillance system. For your information, we have expedited this in 2019 in Intersect Dubai, and people were very interested in how it worked along with our camera and access control. So please get as much information about our product as possible, and hopefully it will help you to apply our surveillance product or access control product into your project needed and convince your customer for the better. Before we go on, the detailed information about FRS, let's watch the movie clip first. Okay, this is a FRS and WiseNet movie clip, and when you actually play it, this is by the way face detection event, and this is the identification event in focus, and this is a face recognition database that all of the face were saved. So every time the person came in, it detects by our camera, and it comes to the database and kind of match how much percentage is similar to what has been saved. And also we provide you with this video playback video footage. So the moment that particular person came in, it will show you like 10 second or like 15 second, like how many second you select and configure in a settings. So this is basically how it actually works. With this um, system, you can use it as access control that you don't really have to have a card to attach to the readers. But because we have this camera that's capturing your faces, you just go into like the camera nearby and then automatically door will open for you. And another scenario that you can use is that surveillance system. So I'm going to be talking about later on different slides. So this is an index. We have a system overview, key features, use cases, category, and modules. And at the end, we will have this installation guide as well as some of our common troubleshooting. So firstly, system overview. What is Wisner FRS? System diagram, capacity, and specification. So what is FRS? FRS is one of the biometric solution that is seamlessly integrated with access control system and video surveillance system. So now we have three different programs: SSM and WAX, WiseNet Access Control System, and WiseNet FRS, WiseNet Face Recognition System. SSM, as you may know well, it's a VMS. So if you register our camera or NVR, you can live view and you can also play backup, and you can also have this um, pop up whenever event is triggered, or you can also have a failover system with this and clustering, all those different functionality ready for you. And WAX is Wise Access Control. So we have this controller leader that whenever person who wants to get into the certain door, they have this card and they put it onto the leader and they can simply just get in uh, by having this authorization, right? And that's the access control. And we have this WiseNet FRS now that has been released recently that it captures the face and the person who's been already saved into the database can simply get into the certain door by just having this similar to the wax, and also you can put it into the different like here and there for the city surveillance system. So whenever person who we saved as a blacklist, If that person came out and captured with our camera, then you will get the notification in any way, like getting through the SMS, text message, or email, or like pop up, and so on. So that was a simple introduction about FRS, and this is a system diagram of FRS. It may be seeming like very, very complicated, but what you actually have to know is that we have these two different servers kind. One is the video streaming processing server, having RTS manager and face SDK, and another one is a central server having business logic, NATS, via Node DB agent. And if you have only small number of cameras, you can definitely, install this video streaming processing server into the central server. So basically, one server that can analyze and also saving the uh, face database inside of the server. So this is, the cameras and whatever, like whenever camera captures the face, it goes to the RTS server and it goes to this business logic service and configuring and integration and biometric node face SDK. And there's also DB server and workstation that can actually run inside of the central server. So those are like basic system diagram, and those are actually the one that would appear when you install FRS. So you can easily distinguish what is the module that you are going to install into the PC. This is the system capacity for access control SDK profile. For the access control, you can have up to four number of cameras into the one video stream processing server, and you can have up to three number of video streaming processing server handled by the one central server. Okay, so that's for system capacity. And also, depending on PC performance, you can have a more number of the camera if you have a more like better performance of the PC. For example, this is i5 or i7 4 cores with 16 gigabyte. Then you can have like two number of camera registered to that particular PC. And if we have like i7 6 cores and four number of cameras, and if we have a two number of servers, one server covering four number of cameras, so two servers will cover like eight number of cameras, right? And for better PC spec, you could actually have a more number of cameras registered to that server spec. And this is a server plus CPU configuration. This is the basically the best the performance of the PC that we have tested. So you can refer to those tables when it comes to choosing server for FRS. And another scenario of using FRS is for video surveillance SDK profile. So one central server can have up to 40 number of cameras like that. And still four number of cameras will be handled by one video streaming processing with this given PC specification. So it's because like surveillance system, you can like install many number of cameras in for example, like for like whole city. Then because we have to make sure that the performance, because the camera will constantly capture all those face, going here and there with that angle. So we have to kind of in a general performance that can make so because we are going to use a lot of number of cameras, so we although we are using like 40 number of cameras, still the performance has to be proper enough to capture the faces. So it's different performance, and you can it's similar to the table, but we don't actually provide you with the server plus CPU configuration, mainly because of the reliability performance. So you can only use for this desktop PC specification or like server PC specification. It's similar to um, the one that we were talking about for the access control SDK profile. And this is the basic, the license generating process. So it will be actually provided with so much more explanation with the manual. But one thing that I have to really like mention about this is that because SSM is also using the Sentinel license server, so if you install like SSM and FRS into the one single PC, then the license of both two program will have like kind of complete conflict. So oftentimes it wouldn't actually work like properly. So we actually want you to like use the different PC having one for SSM and another for FRS. And this is a specification. We provide you with these key features having high accuracy, face recognition, and convenient for use application, real-time research, reliable and scalable system, and all that detailed description about FRS. So you can definitely refer to those information to appeal, our customer with having all those features ready. And this is a comparison table with like other FRS vendors. We have this HANA TechWin FRS. Another term we call it like Smart Tracker. So what you can actually see is the template size so much less than any other our competitors, and also enrollment time, which is a template generation speed, faster. I think it's the quickest one, right? 215 millisecond, and also verification time for template comparison. So with this, the performance, I think we rank very high among all those FRS vendors. So I can tell you the performance for our FRS. And those are key features: application by other authority level, real-time monitoring, integration with third-party solution, face search, immunity, and identification. We'll be talking about those in these sessions. So basically, you will have three different authority levels, like the admin, sysadmin, operator. Admin is the one that you can create it like card list and template setting with, and for the system admin, you can set like infrastructure and you can do the parameter setting and system log monitoring. And operator is the application where not application, it's still like the authority level. But if you log in with this level operator, you can basically see all those face detection and face matches and map and like threshold and all those application stuff you can kind of monitor and see. So those are like three different authority levels that we provide you with. And this is the using this operator level, you can see this face detection event, video, structure, FRS, and you can also put the layout by using different authority level. But you can eventually see with this operator level, and you can see this identification events. We also have done this integration with a third-party solution. We have a Milestone, ISS, we have already done, and also we are going to have this SSM and access control integrated by next year, 2020. So you can definitely look forward to it. And if you have possibly like big project that they need actually FRS into for example, like city surveillance project, then we can definitely customize and like put some of the features that they actually need from us. And also, if they wanna like use like third-party VMS company, then we can also make sure that our FRS is fully integrated with their VMS. So you can definitely give us the information if there is any opportunity that we can provide our FRS system along with our cameras. Then we are always, more than happy to welcome it. Okay, and this is another key features where we can search the face through the car list, and you can see that matching and person named like Kevin Kelly, and also we can search the date and time, and like we can put like some sources there and car categories, whether it's put it in a John A staff or other John staff or blacklist or whitelist, something like that. So we can also deal with this, like event log page. And also we provide you with 97% of correct matches and 1% of false acceptance rate. So basically our accuracy is very, very high, and it captures not only like front face, it captures like different, the side of the face, like profile or like, very like 90%, like 90-degree kind of like tilted or something like that. So, and also if it kind of captures and matching rate is not like very, very high, but still that's the same face, and you can actually learn the system by putting that low rate, the face into the into the face that detected to make it like better accuracy. And also we have a plan to put like age and gender and face, like expressions, like smile or like, um, mustaches and beard, like all these face characteristics. We have a plan to put them in a different version upcoming, like maybe next year. So you can also expect it, those features coming. And this is the page where you can configure and register our camera and to see if everything is working properly. So here, you can add source here, and you can like register all of these face recognition camera, and also you can put like RTSP, putting ID and password and IP address, and you can also have, the video codec, which one you want to have, probably like codec H.264 or MJPEG. And also, if you go to click one of those camera to see everything goes right, and you can just click it, and the behind the page, there's a button to play out. So you can also check whether the video is kind of like running smoothly. Okay, the use cases going to introduce you for a while. So scenario is that whether you install those cameras in a civilian system, and you have put like certain blacklist, putting some of the faces into the blacklist. So in case any of these cameras capture that particular person that has been saved into the blacklist, you basically get the notification. It can be like SMS, text message, or email, or you can have a pop-up message in a monitor you are like monitoring. And also, another scenario that you can use is, for the access control mainly. So like without that person having this card always with him, he can basically have he with his face just goes into a particular door, and there's a camera keep capturing the face, so he can just automatically can get into the door without putting any of his card onto the leaders of access control. So that's just the another scenario that we can apply to the project. And this one is the actual case where we put like our cameras here, and there's a monitor there, and there is a PC maybe in a ceiling or like inside of this the gate. So basically, what this person can get into it after this camera recognize his face or her face. So that's like less than 6 seconds per visitor without their card actually attached to the this device. They can just straight getting into it. So those are like turnstile e-gate, and you can basically use that turnstile like e-gate in a different floor, and also you have probably in a transport solution airport, for example, you can put like this biometric access control in an office space, and then also you have this automated check-in and identity verification at departure gate and all that. So you can basically apply the FRS system into the certain vertical solution, and also like certain countries, the hooligan has been a big issue, right? So they tend to put like this FRS camera inside of the stadium to capture the person who already did like wrong manner inside of the stadium. They put it that the picture into the database. So every time the camera like capture that face, they get the naughty by any way, so that they go there and like kind of like they take him away or something. So in this sport facility solution, you can apply to our project with the IFRS solution. And bank solution, we can also put as an access control there. So the camera recognize the face and getting into the certain door. And also it could, prevent the information leakage, prevention of credit frauds, and office and internal bank security by having our surveillance system. Okay, the category is security solution with FRS and access control and VMS with FRS. So as I have mentioned earlier, we can use various cases in access control solution, such as a ticket box, immigration office, or movie theater entrance. And we can put this video surveillance solution as subway or train station, airport, and city surveillance. And with this access control or like SSM with FRS is we can basically put like all of these live monitoring software plus access control of ours like WAX plus FRS like package all together, so that we can do this real-time blacklist detection in train or subway station or airports or metropolitan area. So those cases we can apply to our SSM, WAX plus FRS. Modules, we have an installation. I'm going to be explaining a little bit about that. And also after installation, we will have a FRS configurator and workstation. So those are basically, you will have like just one installation file downloaded from our web page. And when you execute it, you will have a 10 number of modules you can install to in that PC. So you can just go ahead and do it step by step, like what's in FRS prerequisite, and then install it, and then go to the database management tool, and then face SDK, something like that. It doesn't really have to be step by step, just whatever number you want to install, just click it. Or sometimes because the project itself is big enough that you have to distribute it in a different pieces, then you can kind of install in a different modules with the different PCs. Otherwise, you can install like everything in a one single PC. If there is a smaller number of FRS camera only, it's like five or like less than eight or something. And also make sure that when you install the FRS, it has to be very clean PC, because it's gonna start like installing the MS SQL database. So oftentimes, if it's not like clear enough or some other program is already using the same database, then they will probably have a conflict that would cause the trouble of installation. So we definitely want you to, you know, like install, clean PC. And you have a two icons, workstation and configurator. Workstation is to see logs and real-time picture and identification, whereas configurator is to set up the camera and streaming options. And this is the configurator. As I have, like showed you earlier, you can, register our camera, like WebNet camera, to the video stream address, so that that particular camera will, this FRS system will get the streaming from that particular camera. So those are like configurator. And workstation, as a system admin, you can see all those logs. If there's any person who logged out in or like sign in, and there's some problem of a connection of the camera, you can see all of these logs with this sysadmin account. And also with this admin, you can create the card holder, inserting the picture into the face database and infrastructure for different site use. So you can put also the map layout there. Certain camera is shooting certain angles with that. So you can kind of do all of this configuration in a admin level. And operator is the one that captures all this video data here. And you can see this category and also the percentage matching rate here. So those are basically operators. So majority of the time, if unless there is a unless there is any problem, you will be always using this operator rather than system, admin or like just admin. And for the camera configuration guide, optimum camera resolution is not actually depending on the resolution of the camera. It's what the matter is that the face size. So it has to be between pixel number 40 and 120 recommended. And also frame rate. When you install it, you know the movement, how fast or how slow, right? So when the person is generally slow moving, then we actually want you to configure like only 5 or 10 FPS will be fine, like having a less burden of the camera side, but camera and also FRS side. But if the person is, the moving fast, we have to make sure that face should be captured well enough to be recognized. So typically we recommend like 20 or 25 FPS in a configurator, so that you will have no problem when you actually see the face detection and identification. And this is the camera installation guide. Because it's not surveillance purpose, it's more for recognizing the face. It's so much better if the camera is the same length of a person's height. But if that's the case, then people will have a like very hard time walking around, and also they get like intimidated, right? So we actually recommend you to actually install like a little higher than the average height of the people. So just like that, you can install like this or like that. And also for the installation guide, the light is very, very important. So the left light source is a little too bright, and we actually need to like add the light diffuser to the left, whereas the right side is a little too dark, so we have to add the light source to light, like that. And also because of the backlight compensation, if situation is like that, we want you to like turn on the WDR or BLC function in our WiseNet camera. And also such condition, you can actually install this FRS camera in a red cross, and this blue cross you can install like this wide angle CCTV camera there. And also here, because I think it's similar to the height of the people, the length. So the FRS camera should be installed in such a this height. And also this one, you can install like surveillance purpose, um, like our camera. And just like that, we have also tested with the various condition. If we put like height 2.3 meters from the ground, you can have average face match rate 62%. Whereas if you put like height 1.7 meters, which is similar to the height of the people, then you will even get like 99% of the recognizing the face. So the height is very very important, but we have to make sure that it makes best performance. At the same time, it doesn't really threaten the people walking around. Some people, although they didn't do anything wrong, but still when they actually see the camera in store, like in everywhere they get threatened, they oftentimes become like very very passive. I don't know. So like we have to make sure that the camera doesn't really bother the movement of the people, and it should be also capturing the face with the proper performance. Okay, this is a movie clip where we have captured inside of our company main entrance. So as you can see, um, camera is now installed and shooting to this guy over there. Profiles were all captured, and also people looking down still start like coming out, and all of the faces with different characteristics, they all are like really captured, and even this person going to different direction, he can although the face itself doesn't have like noise and like eyes and mouths in front, but still the camera is able to capture all those face. So this is how where our camera with this FRS capture the face itself. Okay, and this is the common installation troubleshooting where you might bump into during the installation of FRS. So especially this number 5, when you proceed the installation of business logic service, you may come across this message saying that you have to verify that you have sufficient privileges to install the system services. So when you see this message, what you actually can do is just go to the File Explorer and click the desktop right button, Properties, go to the Security, and check this PC name. It will be probably like Starling with the desktop dash, and this part will be different, and this part as well. So you put this, like this domain, and then the user account that you have created when you install the window. So you put that user ID and password and click the validated button. Then you will have no problem to install like FRS. So this is a simple like common installation troubleshooting that we may have. You may actually have kind of like a bump into, and it's not just you know I myself actually saw this the message and had a little bit of hard time installing our program, but also like other users like countries, they kind of came back to us with this message, then kind of ask us how to figure this thing out. So we show them the guideline, and we exactly like told them that how to like proceed the installation of FRS. So now they have no problem like executing and running. But anyway, if you bump into the any messages about the privilege list, please check if you put like this right, you know, the ID and like a password user domain properly into the this blank. Okay, this is it, and I hope that you have gained a lot of information about our FRS. And thank you for paying attention to our webinar, and hopefully we will come back to you with um, new content